Okay, Mr. Martinez, this is my submission for the argumentative assignment CSA. I am going to be doing a podcast. Yes, we are doing a podcast. It is going to be about the school start times and student performances. I also have my brother here, Ethan. He's been so kindly willing to help me on this assignment and be
Hello.
able to do this with me. So say hi, Ethan.
Hi there, Mr. Martinez. I'm Ethan.
What is your opinion on early start times for schools or later times?
Personally, I think that school starting early is quite a disadvantage to a lot of students, because I don't know if you've seen a lot of internet memes going around of teachers winning arguments against kids who are sleep deprived. It's a bit of an over exaggeration, but it's kind of getting to the point. Personally, I think that school should start a little bit later so that kids can have a bit of a jump on the day.
Yeah. Do you think that it really affects the performance of school or anything like that, or just like, do you think that make them do better?
I mean, yeah, it would make them get out of school later probably, but all for better for performance. Because I think if you have more sleep, you have more energy, and you're less likely to fall asleep in class. And, and if you have more energy, less likely to fall asleep in class, then then you can get more work done, get better grades.
Well, cool. Well, I personally like the time that school starts right now. I know it is fairly early, and sometimes waking up is a struggle because it is such early. But I already go to something before school that's already early, so I can just go straight from that to school. So it doesn't affect me that much. As well as the fact that I get so much time after school to do whatever I want. I get time to play video games, do homework that any teachers give me, maybe work on a project, or hey, I'm getting a job soon. I can work on doing that. So what do you have to say about that?
Well, yeah, I can see all the pros here, but not everyone has your schedule. In fact, I know what program you're talking about, and very few are have your schedule. Most people just wake up a little bit before they need to go to school, and then they get to school just barely on time. Some students are even coming in late as they can drive, and they're coming in without late arrival approval because they're not getting the sleep they need.
Yeah, I can see that some students are just not able to wake up that early, but also you might just get a job that forces you to wake up earlier. Like, what if your job is like some big corporate job? You have to go into work. Like, what's the point? What happens then?
What do you mean?
If I go into work, and if I have to go into work and I have to be there by 8 o'clock and I live an hour away, that means I have to wake up at 7 still. Like, probably to get up and get ready even more, like 6:30, which I know a lot of people still do get up at 6:30 to get to school on time. So what would be the difference there? I feel like it's just kind of preparing you for that actual being out there in the world. Aren't you good at this?
Yeah, maybe you are, but there are still lots of studies that can back up my point as well.
So do you have any examples of those?
Yes, I do. On APA.org, it says, at a glance, during puberty, youth undergo a shift in their circadian clocks that makes it harder for them to fall asleep until later in the night. Meanwhile, they can stay awake longer before experiencing an increase in the pressure to sleep. So basically, long story short, it's easier for kids to stay awake. Well, so you're saying that it's it's give while yes, it is giving you less time after school. I think if if you're staying awake longer and later, then it's basically the same thing. You still have more time through the night. But then and then if you have school later, you wake up later, and then you have time to get to school and you're nice and refreshed.
So I did that does make sense, but I know kids do end up having to wake up like stay up later than that, but like they're already going to be staying up later than that, and they can quite oftentimes be able to wake up early in the morning, and it just allows for like even if kids can decide to sleep in during school and then just have that free time after school to be able to do that work in that class to be able to get it done. I know some kids might not be responsible enough to do that, but still gives them the option to do that. It gives them the option to try and wake up and maybe get it done in class or to get it done at home. Because if we do it later, like you're supposing we should, then whenever we get home and we don't have enough time to do our homework or we don't have enough time to do the things we want, it's just kind of pointless. It takes up our entire day.
Well, in counteraction, you do have some good points, but the American Academy of Sleep Medicine says says that few are logging the 8 to 10 hours necessary of sleep per day. Between 2009 and 2021, the percentage of high school students who did not get enough sleep increased from 69 to 77%, almost 10% more, according to the data from the CDC National Youth Risk Behavior Surveys. In 2021, nearly 70% of ninth graders and 83.5% of 12th graders failed to get enough sleep. So essentially, you're not getting enough sleep because school is earlier. Yeah, you'd be getting home later. You'd have more time to do stuff. But again, school starting earlier is causing students not to get the right amount of sleep, especially with them not being able to fall asleep due to puberty.
I guess that does make sense because if they're not getting enough sleep, like this website says, then they're not going to be able to properly function in school. So I guess it would make sense that school should start later.